Single dad meets his ex-wife on Christmas Eve. A little girl says two words that change everything. Snow fell in soft, careful flakes, the kind that made the world feel quieter than usual. Daniel Harper pulled his coat tighter around himself as he stood outside street Mary's church, staring at the warm light spilling through the stained glass windows. Christmas Eve always did this to him, brought memories he tried all year to keep buried. Inside, his 6-year-old daughter, Lily, was rehearsing for the nativity play. She was an angel, wings crooked, halo slipping over one eye. Daniel smiled despite himself. Lily had been his anchor since the divorce, the reason he got up every morning even when his chest felt hollow. He hadn't expected to see her tonight. Daniel. The voice stopped him cold. He turned slowly and there she was, Emily. His ex-wife. The woman he'd once planned an entire life with. She looked different, older somehow, but still achingly familiar. Her hair was shorter now, tucked into a wool scarf, her eyes carrying the same mix of warmth and uncertainty he remembered too well. Emily, he said, his breath fogging the air. I didn't know you were coming. She nodded, hands clasped together. I'm in town for the holidays. I thought Lily might like to see me. The words landed awkwardly between them. Emily had moved away 2 years ago, chasing a job opportunity and, Daniel suspected, a version of herself that didn't include diapers, bills, and late-night arguments. The separation hadn't been dramatic, just painfully quiet. One day she was gone, and Daniel was left learning how to braid hair and pack lunches alone. She's inside, he said after a moment. Getting ready. Emily smiled, but it wavered. Does she still? Every night, Daniel interrupted gently. She still asks. That seemed to hit harder than anything he could have said. Emily looked down, blinking fast. I never meant to disappear from her life. I know, Daniel replied, though some days he wasn't sure that was true. They stood in silence, the church door opening briefly as laughter and music drifted out. Then Lily burst through the doors, wings bouncing. Daddy, she shouted, running straight into his arms. Then she froze. Her eyes locked onto Emily. For a moment, Daniel's heart hammered painfully. He didn't know how Lily would react. He'd prepared himself for tears, confusion, maybe even anger, emotions far too big for such a small body. Instead, Lily tilted her head and whispered, Mommy. Emily dropped to her knees instantly, tears spilling freely now. Hi, baby. Lily stepped closer, studying her face as if committing it to memory. Then she said 2 words, soft, simple, and devastating in their honesty. You came. Something broke open in the cold night air. Emily sobbed, pulling Lily into her arms. Daniel felt his own eyes burn. Those 2 words carried years of longing, hope, and forgiveness that none of them had ever been able to say out loud. Inside the church, the bells rang, signaling the start of the service. But for a moment, time seemed to pause just for them. They sat together in the back pew, Daniel on one side, Emily on the other, Lily between them. Lily held both their hands, swinging her feet and whispering excitedly about her angel costume. As the choir sang, Silent Night, Daniel found himself glancing at Emily. She was watching Lily, her face soft with wonder and regret. I should have fought harder, she whispered without looking at him. For her, for us. Daniel swallowed. I was angry for a long time. I know, but anger gets heavy, he continued quietly. Especially when you're carrying it alone. Emily finally met his eyes. Do you think there's any chance we could try again? Not as before, just better. He didn't answer right away. Instead, he looked down at Lily, humming softly, completely unaware that her parents' entire world was shifting around her. I don't know what the future looks like, Daniel said honestly. But I know this, Lily needs both of us. And maybe we owe it to her to see what's still possible. Emily nodded, hope flickering carefully, like a candle that might go out if breathed on too hard. After the service, snow fell harder, coating the steps in white. Lily insisted they all walk home together. She skipped between them, holding their hands, laughing as if this were the most natural thing in the world. At the door to Daniel's apartment, Emily hesitated. I don't want to confuse her, she said softly. Daniel smiled, opening the door. It's Christmas Eve, let's just give her tonight. Inside, the tree glowed, lights reflecting in Lily's wide eyes. She hugged Emily tightly before running off to hang her stocking. Later, after Lily had fallen asleep on the couch, Emily and Daniel sat quietly, mugs of cocoa growing cold in their hands. I don't expect miracles, Emily said. But I'm here. I'm not running this time. Daniel looked at the woman he once loved, the mother of his child, and felt something stir, not the old pain, but a cautious hope. Then let's start there, he said. Outside, the snow continued to fall, covering old footprints, softening sharp edges. And for the first time in years, Christmas didn't feel like a reminder of what they'd lost, but a promise of what they might still find.